I'm back. I had some technical issues earlier, but I'm back. I told you guys that today I was going to do something different because it is doing something different here in Virginia Beach, where I live. It is snowing here, and it doesn't really snow here in Virginia. It threatened to snow last week. Technically, it did snow, but it rained immediately after, and then it disappeared. But today, I think we might get some real snow. So since the state has decided to do something different, or the weather has decided to do something different, I do something different as a coach tonight. I am going to talk about the ADHD tax on a different platform. Normally, I reserve this for the clock app. Normally, the clock people, y'all get y'all get this, y'all get the goods. But today, I'm going live. I'm streaming to a couple different places. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Oh, that reminds me. I need to share this on if you're on Facebook for me, just share the post for me. I completely forgot to share this to the Facebook group, but if you are in the Budgeting Baddies community, go ahead and share it to the group for me. I appreciate you. Anyway, tonight I'm going to talk about ADHD and what it's actually costing you. If you have ADHD, drop a 1 in the comments. Drop a 1 in the comments if you have it. Drop a 2 if you strongly suspect you do, but you have never been diagnosed, and drop a 3 if you don't have it, but you empathize with us. You empathize. I get it. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna give you one more. Drop a 4 if you don't have it, but somebody in your family definitely does, because I want you to understand your loved ones too. Okay. All right. I done told y'all. ADHD has been quietly draining your bank account, and you didn't even know it. You didn't know it. And I'm not going to talk to you about the things that you bought, because we already know that that's draining your bank account. We know that. I'm talking about the things that you forgot to do, the things that you avoided, the things that you paid for twice because you couldn't find the first one. See, most people think ADHD is just about focus and attention, but baby, ADHD is costing you real money. And today we're going to calculate how much. I call this the ADHD tax. Now, I didn't coin the frame, but I certainly adopted it. And trust me, if you have ADHD, you've been paying it. Okay. But here's the thing. This is the good news. Once you see it, you can stop paying it, or at least pay a lot less of it. So tonight, I'm going to walk you through exactly what the ADHD tax is, how much it is costing you each year, and what you can do to stop the bleeding. Okay. Because your brain works a certain kind of way, and it's costing you a certain amount of money, okay? And it's different for everybody. How much I'm paying, it's going to be different than what you're paying, okay? Our obstacles are different, all right? So if you are not diagnosed with ADHD, and you're sitting here thinking, well, what does this got to do with me, friend? Let me tell you. If you don't have ADHD, but you got anxiety, you got depression, trauma, or you're just generally overwhelmed by life. And quite frankly, I don't know how you could be existing in this country right now and not be overwhelmed by life, because every time I turn on the news, I'm dysregulated. But if you are feeling that way, I need you to know that this applies to you too, because all of those things mess with your executive function as well. And that's what we're talking about tonight. So now, before we dive in, I'd like to know where y'all watching me from. So what state are you watching me from? Hey, Vanessa. Welcome back. Tell me where you're watching from. As you guys know, well, some of y'all don't know, I'm a Jersey girl through and through. Okay. I call my subs a sub. I know a good pizza when I see one. I like a pork roll sandwich, and we the only one that know how to make it. Yeah. I'm a Jersey girl, but I live in Virginia Beach, to be specific. And it's snowing outside, which is crazy work. It's snowing. But I digress. We got Houston. Hey, Houston. Still on my bucket list to travel. I may actually make it out to Texas this year. My godbaby's graduating high school this year. My daughter's very best friend. So I may fly my way out. I don't know if it'll be Houston, though, because they don't live in Houston. But I figure if I'm going to be in the state, I may as well spend the block on over there. So, yes. Did you say wear a helmet? Oh, you gifted me a helmet. Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. Tell me where y'all watching from over here, Facebook world. I see y'all over here too. That's the TikTok over here. Tell me where y'all watching from. What state are y'all in? All right. Now, most of y'all, I feel like in Facebook land, y'all know me. Okay, y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Probably some of y'all grew up with me. Okay, some of y'all grew up with me. Okay, because I got this broadcast. I don't know if you watching from my personal page or my business page, but you know your girl. Okay. Anyway, Indianapolis. Hey, Indiana. I love it. Indiana. Well, welcome, friends. What's the weather like over there? What's the weather? It's cold. It's cold right now. I keep randomly getting up and turning my bathtub up, hot water on because I'm terrified my pipes are gonna freeze. It's that cold outside. It ain't been this cold in Virginia in forever. So anyway, I see y'all. I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay. So we're gonna start here. What is the ADHD tax? Now, the ADHD tax is all the extra money that you pay, not because you're bad with money, but because your brain works differently. Let me paint you a picture. It looks like late fees because you forgot to pay a bill. That's my alarm, y'all. I'm sorry. It's telling me to go to bed. I'm not. It looks like overdraft fees because you forgot to transfer money. Buying things twice because you lost the first one. Subscriptions you forgot you had and didn't cancel. Impulse purchases you regret later. Impulse purchases that you regret later. Somebody say ouch, because I know you felt that one. Y'all got 5 things that you bought this week already. You don't even remember what you bought. Okay. Paying for express shipping because you forgot until the last minute. Friends, I paid this tax this week. This week, I'm gonna be at an event, a conference, next week, and waited until the last minute to order my stuff for my tables, and had to pay that extra shipping to get it here on time. I did. Lady Leo says single digits and 11 inches of snow. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining. You got it worse where you are. Oh, she said reconnect fees because something got turned off. Oh, you picking up what I'm putting down. You you adding the tax up already. Yes, absolutely. Okay. It also looks like losing gift cards, coupons, and cash. I have told y'all this story before. If you're on TikTok, you've heard me share this this lesson before. But friends, I have lost so much money in gift cards that I've never redeemed. Yeah, because I let them expire. I was just holding on to them. I was holding on to them. This probably is like dual. This is a little ADHD and a little trauma. I was holding on to these gift cards in case I ever had a struggle day. I was like, in case I ever be, poor again, I'm gonna hold on to this gift card when I'm struggling, but I want to eat. You know what I mean? And then I forgot that I had all these gift cards in this gift card bag because also OCD. So I had it nice, neatly organized. Gift cards from a housewarming that I'm talking about $100 gift card, Visa gift card, not to a store, just didn't cash them in. Okay. ADHD and a little bit of trauma sprinkled in there. Okay. Paying full price because you forgot to use a promo code, or if you have ADHD, your dopamine was probably low and you simply didn't feel like looking for one, right? Not that motivated to do it. You're like, never mind, I'll pay full price. I don't feel like it. Can you relate? Can you relate? Put a 1 in the comments if you relate. Put a 1 in the comments if you can relate. Okay. Then we got parking tickets because you forgot to move your car. And I'm told y'all I done paid the city of Virginia Beach. I done paved it. I have personally funded the streets of Virginia because I kept forgetting to move my car when I worked in corporate America. I would park my car in 2-hour parking and be like, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna move it in 2 hours, and I would forget, and it would be the end of the workday, and I had a boot on my car because I left it in a 2-hour parking. They make you pay $25 to get it off, and I paid that fee. But you know what? Once I looked out my job window and I saw that boot was on my car, I was like, I'm staying there for the rest of the day. I already didn't pay for this spot. It's my spot now. I'm not moving my car. I'm staying here all day long because I done paid. I'm getting I'm staying in a 2-hour spot now. Paid for it. Vanessa put a one out here. Okay, y'all understand? You feeling me? Okay. All right. It also looks like buying lunch every day because meal prepping felt too overwhelming, or you actually did meal prep and you still had to buy lunch because you forgot it at home. Because ADHD, poor working memory, right? Yes. You was feeling so good. I took the time. I packed my lunch. Ooh, I'm so proud of myself. And then you get to work and you be like, shoot, I left that lunch on the counter. Not only can't you eat it at work, you can't even eat it when you get back home because you left it on the counter. It's going to go bad. Okay. That's the ADHD tax. Okay. And it feels like you're working so hard, but your money just disappears and you can't figure out where it went. You feel like you're constantly catching up, always behind, never quite in control, right? Right? So now let me ask you something. And I want you to be honest. Be honest, friends, because I be being honest with y'all, okay? How many of you guys have paid a late fee this year because you forgot to pay a bill? Type late in the chat if you have, okay? I ain't talking about late because you didn't have the money. I mean, that can be true too. But late because you just forgot. You just forgot. You told yourself you was going to do it later. And you was like, as soon as I finish watching this TV show, I'm going to log in. I'm going to do it as soon as. And then you went to sleep. And then 2:00 in the morning, you woke up in a panic like, oh, shoot, I fell asleep. And now it's after midnight. And now you got a late fee. Anybody? Type late. Type late in the chat. Type late in the chat. Mm-hmm. If you're manually paying your bills, let me know. Okay? You're not alone. You're not alone. Okay, next question. Who here has bought something twice because you couldn't find the first one? Type twice in the comments if that's you. Type twice in the comments if you bought something again because you couldn't find the first one. I'm going to give you a perfect example of that right now. Charger. Let me tell you something. Where did I put that charger? You know why it took me so long to come back from my technical glitch from my live? Because I couldn't find my microphone. I just had it. I was like, where? I sat it down. I could not trace my steps to save my life. Okay. Not being able to find something that I just put down has cost me so much money because I had to buy it again because I legitimately couldn't find it. It always works that the moment you finally break down and buy it, you find it, right? I didn't break down and buy a new one because I did find it. I just lost it today. But the fact is, it could have easily gone that way because people with ADHD struggle with poor working memory, okay? That's why we don't know what we came in the kitchen for, okay? So type twice in the comments if you had to buy something twice because you couldn't find the first one. It's usually food or tools or something like that. Electronics is a big one. I hear a lot of people talk about not being able to find their headphones. They got to buy a new one. You said TE? I think your word got cut off. BR. Okay. One more. What is something that you're subscribed to? You said twice. Okay, gotcha. You got twice. What is something that you're subscribed to right now that you forgot you even had? Drop it in the chat. Tell me what you subscribe to right now. You said twice or thrice. You said, girl, I done bought 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I got it. Listen, I had so many pairs of reader glasses. These are my readers, but these my real ones. But I had so many pairs of reader glasses because I could not remember what I did with my glasses. And so I just started going to the Dollar Tree and just racking up on extra glasses because I knew I was going to lose my glasses. I knew it. I couldn't be trusted. So I was paying extra an ADHD tax because I couldn't remember where I set them down. Okay? Thank you for making me feel safe. It's not just me. I know. Okay. Tell me what you subscribe to right now that you forgot you even had. You like, shoot, if I could remember that I had it, I wouldn't be subscribed to it. What do you subscribe to? You said, I can't buy nice shades. Kept sitting on them. Who child? Listen, do you see these scratches? Look at this. As much as these glasses cost, these things so scratched up because I just take them off and leave them in my bed. I know an optometrist hate to see me coming because these things are scratched up. I just throw them in my purse because I can't find the case, can't find the struggle. And I got prescription shades too. I'm scared to take them out the house. Okay, prescription shades, they cost too much to be losing. They stay on my face. I just wear them like the glasses. I don't care if I'm inside the building. If I got them things on, they stay on until I get back home. All right. Yes, okay. You said anybody else? What subscriptions you got right now that you have forgotten that you had? Tell me what you forgot. Tell me what you forgot until it hit your bank account. Until it hit your bank account. And you was like, shoot, I've been meaning to cancel that. I know you got 1, 2, 3 things you're not using right now that you still subscribe to. All right. Somebody got a gym membership. Oh, I'm in y'all business. Oh, I'm in y'all business. Y'all got a gym membership that you ain't been to the gym all year? Huh, friend? Listen, I'm not judging you. Listen, I'm wishful thinking. I'm hopeful thinking too. I'm wishful thinking. I done paid my subscription for the whole year in advance. So I can't get my money back. I just got to do my best to try to go and use it before the year's up. And then I'm off of it because I got a treadmill now. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Most money advice tells you to just be more organized. Just set a reminder. Just pay attention. But if you're sitting here nodding like, girl, I tried, but it didn't work, type tried in the comments. Type tried. Because the advice isn't the problem. Your brain is wired differently. And until you build systems that work with your brain instead of against it, you're going to keep paying the tax. Somebody type tax in the comments for me. Type tax. You're going to keep paying the tax. Okay, now let's talk about how much this is actually costing you, because I want this to be more than theoretical. I want this to be a real number for you. So we're going to do a little exercise together. I want you to grab your phone and I want you to open your notes app. Okay, grab your phone, open your notes app, and I want you to follow along with me. Okay, or grab a piece of paper at least. Okay, type calculating in the chat if you are ready to do this with me, because we're going to calculate your tax. We're going to calculate your tax. Okay, let me know that you're calculating. All right, I'm going to give y'all the formula. All right, I see y'all. Let's go. Now, I'm going to ask you some questions, and for each one, I want you to write down your honest answer. No judgment, okay? Just the truth. And you do not have to share your number with me. You don't got to tell me the dollar amount. You can, but you don't have to tell me the dollar amount. I want you to know your number, okay? This calculation is for you. It's your business. It ain't my business, okay? First question. How many late fees have you paid this year? Think about it. Credit cards, late fees, utility, late fees, rent, late fees, phone bill, late fees. Lady Leo had mentioned earlier today about reconnection fees, right? Let's say the average fee is $25. If you paid even one late fee this month, just one, okay? Just one per month times 12 months, that is $300 a year. $300 a year. Now, let's say on average, no, that's a good number. I like it. I feel like we lowballing, okay? Now, let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 is, how many overdraft fees have you paid this year? If you're just joining, we're doing a calculation to see how much you guys have paid in taxes if you have ADHD. And when I say taxes, I ain't talking about the taxes the IRS charge. I'm talking about the taxes that your brain is charging, and it costs you more. You're probably paying more in taxes because of ADHD than the IRS is charging you right now. And if you are, you need to get your calculators out, get your notepad out, and do this math with us, okay? So, how many overdraft fees have you paid this year? Now, overdraft fees are usually $35 each. So, if you overdraft even twice this year, just two times, that's $70. $70, okay? All right, so write that down. Whatever your number is. Now, don't use my number. I'm just giving you a lowball number. I want you to think about you. You like, I overdraft every pay period. Okay, 35 times 26. Okay, if you overdrafting every paycheck, you got to rob Peter to pay Paul. Write it down. Write it down. And while I'm doing that, let me multitask real quick because I want to make sure. Ooh, I want to make sure that the baddies get in here. So let me charge this up so I can share that over there. Okay. Where we leave all that, friends? Okay. So y'all got that calculation? Get your notebook and your pad. We're gonna do this calculation together, friends. Okay. So the first question was, how many late fees have you paid this year? Don't tell me in the comments. Write it on your notepad. It's your business. I'm just trying to help you do this math together, okay? So you're going to take that amount times the number of months in a year, okay? How many overdraft fees have you paid this year? You're going to add that up. Now we're on question 3. How much have you spent on things you bought twice because you lost the first one? Add it up. This is going to be the big one right here, because between buying groceries twice and buying electronics twice and thrice and thrice, I made that one up. What's the way to say 4? Like twice, we say thrice. Is there a word for 4? I'm gonna go with thrice. I'm gonna just decide that it's a word. I'm gonna make it up. I'm gonna use it. That's what we doing. That's what we doing today. Hey y'all. Welcome. If you have ADHD, you're a baddie. Welcome to the community. If you don't, you're a bestie. You're still welcome in this community. We are calculating the ADHD tax. And if you have ADHD or suspect you have ADHD, I recommend you stay up in here because it's probably costing you money. And if you don't have ADHD, but you know somebody have ADHD, I recommend you share it with them because you're a good friend. Okay, be a good friend and share the lie. All right, now, 4th question. How much are you paying for subscriptions? Oh, wait. Let me go back because I stopped. Question 3 was, how much have you spent on things that you bought twice? So I want to go back and visit that, because whether we're talking about chargers, headphones, keys, umbrellas, water bottles, if we're conservative and we say $100 a year, I want you to add that number up. So for me, I'm going super conservative. I know you spent more than $100 a year just on food you bought more than once that you didn't need, okay? But you take your number and you add it up, add it to the list. Now we're going to move on to question 4. Question 4, I'm asking you guys, how much are you paying for subscriptions that you forgot about? How much are you paying for subscriptions that you forgot about? I want you to go look at your bank statement right now. log in, look at those transactions that came out of your account, pick up the phone, pick it up, and log in and look at the transactions, the Apple Pays that posted, that made your hearts, that made you fight air because you was planning on using that money for something. Add it all up, okay? Go look at your bank statements. I bet there's at least one subscription that you forgot about. And let's say that subscription is on the light end. Let's say it's only $10 a month. $10 a month that you forgot that you're going to pay all year long, okay? 10 times 12 is $120 a year, okay? You picking up what I'm putting down so far? All right. Whew. Now, question 5. How much do you spend on impulsive purchases a month? Friends, this is the one that's going to break some of you guys down because some of y'all be impulsively purchasing vacations that cost $3,000. Christmas, my God, if we think about how much you impulsively buy for holidays, for birthdays, for brunches, on TikTok, Lord, the TT shop got y'all in the clutches, okay? Some of y'all carts are insane right now, okay? Nothing wrong with your cart being insane. It's the checkout. That okay? If you impulsively put it in a cart, I'm not mad at you, okay? I'm not mad at that being your solution. But if you checking out, I know your number is higher, a lot higher than my conservative number that I'm going to give you to work with. So if you don't want to do the math, I'm going to give you a conservative number, okay? I'm going to give you the conservative number. So let's say if $50 a month is what you've been doing. $50. This all. $50. That is $600 a year. $600 a year, okay? Now, some of y'all know y'all doing it. 100, 200, $300. Okay. Okay. You spend $3,600 impulsively and you know it. I'm not judging you. We listen and we don't judge, okay? We just listen. I want you to listen to your bank account and don't judge it. Just right now, we just take it in information, okay? This is a support group. Hi, my name is Betty, and I'm an impulsive shopper. Okay, hi, I'm Coach B, and I'm an impulsive shopper. Okay, whatever it is, I just need you to admit it on your notebook piece of paper as we're adding this up. Okay, I gave you the conservative number of $600. Now we're gonna move on to question number 6. How much extra are you paying because you forgot to use coupons, promo codes, or discounts? How much is it, friends? How much? Let's say $50 a year. Okay. Let's just go ahead with a low number. $50 a year, 20 cents here, 50 cents there, dollar coupon there. Okay. Now, question 7. How much are you spending on takeout because cooking felt too overwhelming or because you forgot your lunch at home? And let's say you order out 3 times a week at $15 each. That's $45. $45 a week times 52 weeks a year. That's $2,340. Somebody do the math for me. $15, 3 times a week. It's 45 times 52 weeks a year. $2,340 a year on takeout. Am I right? Is my math right? Maybe it's the math. Maybe it's the ADHD. Okay, so let's add it all up, okay? We done went through 7 questions. You should have a total. You should have a list of all your numbers. I want you to add it all up, okay? So we calculated $300 in late fees, $70 in overdraft fees, $100 in duplicate purchases, $120 on forgotten subscriptions, $600. on impulsive purchases, $50 in missed discounts, $2,340 in takeout for a grand total of $3,580 a year. And I was being conservative. $3,580 a year. I was being conservative, friends. What's your number? Matter of fact, you don't got to tell me your number, but tell me, is it higher or lower than what I came up with? Is your number higher or lower than what I came up with? Okay. Now, while y'all write that out, y'all, the ADHD tax is costing you guys more than $3,500 a year, and that is a conservative estimate. And some of y'all are paying so much more than that. So much more than that. Type ouch in the comments if I'm getting all in your business. If that number hits you and you're like, the number's higher than that for me, friend. Don't worry. You're not alone. Now, I know truth hurts, but listen, I am not telling you this to make you feel bad. I am telling you this so that you can see it. Because once you can see the problem, you can actually stop it. So now, let me ask you this. What could you do with an extra $3,500 a year? If you could stop spending $3,500 a year by simply having better awareness of your ADHD tax, what could you do with it? Come on. $3,500 hit your bank account today. Tell me what you're doing with the money. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments for me. Cha-ching! Direct deposit notification. $3,500 as hit your bank account. What are we doing with it, friends? Drop it in the comments. Come on. Let me know. Manifest something, y'all. Manifest. What you doing with the money? It hits your bank account. Tell me in the comments. What are you doing with it? $3,500 just hit your bank account. Tell me what you're going to do with it. Are you paying off debt? D said another trip. Where we going, D? Where we going? Where are we going? Take me on a virtual vacation with you. Where are we going? Okay. Are we building an emergency fund? We already got vacation. We going on vacation? Are we investing? What are you doing with that $3,500 that's in your account? Okay. Now, for those of you guys who are just joining, I am helping you guys calculate the ADHD tax. You guys are late to the conversation. Don't worry, I will do this live again. I went through 7 different questions for you guys to think through to understand the different costs that ADHD cost you exactly, so you can calculate exactly how much extra your life costs just to be alive because you have ADHD. So you can figure out exactly how much extra you pay per year, so you can start creating some solutions so you can stop paying it. St. Lucia. Ooh, good trip. That's a good thing to do with the monies. Ooh, I love somebody with a travel bug. I would choose adventure over clothes every day of the week, okay? The only thing in competition with adventure is food for me. Okay. Now, we're about halfway through. And I've already given you guys the formula to calculate your ADA tax. If this is helping you, she said the smart answer is invest. Right. That's what you're supposed to say. Right. But listen, and my newsletters, if you guys are subscribed to my blogs and my newsletters, I like to do a lot of like inner dialogue, outer dialogue talking. Like I tell you what I'm supposed to say, but then I also tell you what my inner voice says because they simultaneously, I feel like you need to know both my inner voice and my outer voice because that's all part of my personality. I'm going to tell you the right answer, but I'm going to tell you the real answer. I love people who are honest and transparent in that way. I love that. Okay. I'm not going to judge you because I'm you. Okay. So again, and I'm giving y'all a formula to calculate the ADHD tax. And for those of y'all who are just joining, I'm not going to spend time with y'all calculating. I'm going to tell you what the questions were real quick so that you can do this calculation on your own. You can come back when I spend a block on this live another day. I'm going to try to do this particular live lesson, like at least once a month. Probably twice. Okay. The questions I asked y'all was, how many late fees have you paid this year? Because you forgot, right? I gave the example that if you paid a late fee once a month, times 12 months, that's $300 a year. Second question was how much you pay in overdraft fees this year. $35 an occurrence, twice a year, $70 a year. So what you're doing is you're adding up the different costs of ADHD, and I'm going to explain to you exactly the executive function issues that is causing this to happen, so you can understand the neurology part of it. But for right now, I don't want you to judge yourself. I just want you to do the math. Ask yourself these questions and write down the number so you can figure out how much you're paying. How much have you spent on things you bought twice because you lost the first one? How much are you paying for subscriptions because that you forgot about? Right? You remembered it when Apple Pay was like, cha-ching, give me that money. You was like, shit, I meant to cancel this. How much do you spend on impulsive purchases per month? This is the one that got ADHDers in the chokehold, baby. Impulsive. Honey. Oh, honey. How much extra are you paying because you forgot to use coupons, promo codes, and discounts, or your dopamine was too low to feel like doing it? And then the last question I asked y'all to come up with your total tax was how much you're spending on takeout because you either felt too overwhelmed by the task or you made your lunch, but you forgot it at home. Okay. Once you have figured out what that is, those numbers, and I gave you guys, I did a real conservative estimate for you guys for each of these questions. And I calculated it at $300 a year on late fees. That's very low balling it based on national averages. $70 in overdraft fees, $100 in duplicate purchases. When I tell you that's real low balling it for ADHDers, the amount of time, just food alone that we got to buy multiple times because we got 5 bags of sugar at the house, right? I did $100 a year for duplicate purchases, $120 for forgotten subscriptions, $600 for multiple for impulse purchases, which again, super low balling it because impulse purchases, TikTok alone got you in a chokehold. Okay. You said buying twice and impulse purchases too much to count. Exactly, friend. Exactly. Impulsive purchases, I know for sure. But I went conservative and I gave y'all $600 a year. I said $50 a month of impulsive purchases. Now we know good and daggone well it's more than $50 a month, but I'm trying to be nice. So $600 a year. I said $50 a year in missed discounts, 50 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents, grocery store, left the coupons at home. Adds up, right? And I said for takeout, if you're eating out 3 times a week because you forgot, not because you, and I'm not talking about takeout because you have takeout. I'm talking about takeout that you didn't plan to do. Okay. Takeout because you just didn't, like you were overwhelmed with cooking. You forgot your lunch at home, right? That type of eating out. 3 times a week, $15 each time. That's about $45 a week. Times 52 weeks a year, that's $2,340 a year on just the eating out part. And depending on where you live, eating out could be a lot more than that per session. So that's how I came up with a total of $3,580 a year. ADHD tax, and that's being real conservative, friends. Real conservative. That's how much extra it costs for you to be alive. Now, I want you guys to understand why this happens. Because it's not that you're lazy. Most people I know who have ADHD are incredibly hardworking. They're working twice as hard as neurotypical people a lot of times because they have to do so much labor just internally to be able to do tasks externally. They're working really hard. They've been battling people's opinions about things their whole childhood, shaped their self-esteem. Trust me, they're not lazy, okay? So it's not because they're lazy, and it's not because they're irresponsible. They want to make good choices. It's not because they don't care. It's because of how their brain works, the way their nervous system works, the way their brain wiring works. And so let me explain. ADHD brains struggle with something called executive function, okay? Executive function is like the CEO of your brain. It's mostly dealt with right here in this prefrontal cortex, okay? And it helps you plan ahead, prioritize tasks, manage time, regulate emotions, follow through on things, all the things you need to budget, to manage your money well, okay? Executive function, okay? Now, when your executive function is struggling, it's like the CEO of your brain went on vacation, but nobody's running the company. You know what? It's like this country. That's a perfect example. Our CEO is dysfunctional. Okay. The country is experiencing ADHD. I don't know whether to laugh or cry about that. So, what happens when that happens? You know you need to pay a bill. Sorry. Sorry about this microphone. You know you need to pay a bill, but your brain says, I'll do it later. And then later never comes. You know you need to cancel that subscription, but the thought of logging in, finding the settings, what was your password? And clicking through 10 screens feels exhausting, and so you don't. You know you should meal prep, but the thought of defrosting and planning and shopping and chopping and cooking and cleaning up the ghetto, that feels overwhelming. And so your brain just shuts down, and so you order takeout. Okay? Type shut down if you can relate. Now, that's executive dysfunction, and it's real. Now, here's where it connects to your nervous system. When you're stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, your executive function gets worse. Your brain goes into survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, your brain isn't thinking about bills. Okay? It's not thinking about bills when you're in survival mode. Thank you for the heart. And your brain isn't thinking about anything. It's thinking about getting through the day. So you avoid, you procrastinate, you forget, you shut down. That is when the ADHD tax hit. Somebody type survive in the chat for me. Type survive in the chat. Because that is what's happening when you're in survival mode and your money is paying the price. Now, before I show you how to fix this, let me ask you something. When you're stressed, what do? Tell me what you do when you're stressed. What's your go-to when you're stressed out? Do you shop? Do you avoid your bank account? Do you eat? Do you sleep? Do you go see that man? Some people stress sexing. You don't even like him. You're just stressed out. You don't like him at all. Your dopamine's just low. That's a conversation for another day. What do you do? Okay. Do you scroll your phone for hours? She says survive. Thank you, thank you, and thank you for joining from YouTube. Appreciate it. I appreciate that so bad. Do you scroll your phone for hours? You said Facebook has a lag. Okay. No, I actually appreciate you switching over, friend. we try to grow YouTube. we are. So I actually appreciate that. All right. Some of us are on social media right now because we're avoiding, because we're anxious. That's how you happen to find my channel today. Doom scrolling. Because that's one of the ways. That's one of the things that you do when you're stressed. Okay. All right. So let's talk about how to stop paying the ADHD tax, because knowing the problem is one thing, but what we really want is the solution. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to stop paying the ADHD tax. She said doom scrolling. Yes. I don't know if you missed um what I was sharing, the executive dysfunctions, and but hopefully if you did miss it, then you'll catch it when I do this live again. But I'm gonna share with you 5 ways to stop paying the ADHD tax, y'all. So first thing that you can do if you struggle with ADHD is automate everything. One of the major issues we're dealing with is cognitive load. Cognitive load. So imagine, I don't know if there are any techies out here, right? Imagine that you are a computer, a regular computer, right? And computers work on RAM. Let me give you a good example of this. Okay, let me use this cup, and I don't got nothing smaller. All I got is a big cup. Imagine I got a little cup. Okay, right? A neurotypical brain has more memory space. Okay. Working memory space. Neurodivergent brain has less working memory space. We could absorb the same information, be completely capable of processing and executing on that information very well, actually be better here. But the problem is we don't have as much space to hold on to it. So we're going to let go of some of the information because we don't have enough space in our cup, right? So we're going to forget details because our brain is like, we can't hold all of this, so we got to let something go. That's why you can't remember what you came in the kitchen for, because your brain is trying to hold on to other things that it thinks is important. So one of the things that we tend to do is we tend to treat ourselves like neurotypical people and say, we're going to hold on to all of this in our minds. I'm going to manually pay all the bills. I'm going to manually do X and manually do Y, right? And we're adding cognitive load that we don't have to. We got technology now, right? So we can confidently put ourselves on, well, we hope, right? Automate as much as possible so that way we can reduce the cognitive load so we have space for other tasks that we want to do, right? So if you struggle to remember to pay bills, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that this is the microphone. Work with me, friends. I want to just wear it, but it don't seem to work real well when you wear it. So I got to do this, right? If you struggle to remember to pay bills, automate them. Set auto pay for anything that has a consistent amount: a phone bill, internet, subscriptions. Okay. Why? Because you can't forget if it's on auto pay. Right? Well, you paying late fees. We talked about the ADHD tax, right? One of those taxes was paying bills late, right? Not because you ain't had the money, but because you forgot. You went to sleep. You forgot to do it. Instantly reduce your ADHD tax. Just automate it. Okay? Type automate in the chat. All right? Next thing that you can do to help reduce the ADHD tax is use one account for bills only. If you ever overdrafted because you forgot that you had a bill coming out, here is the fix. Open a separate checking account for just your bills. Every payday, transfer the bill money into that account. Nothing else comes out of it but bills. Hear me. Bills. That's it. That's all. Okay? And that way you're spending money if you impulsively are shopping, doesn't impact your bill money. And so now we don't have late fees and overdraft fees because we accidentally spent our rent money on the TikTok shop. Okay? Simple things, right? It's not a major mind-blowing task, but it's one of those things where a neurotypical person can do this. We absolutely have to do this. Because odds are, if we don't, we're going to be paying more taxes. We're going to be paying ADHD taxes. Not because we want to be irresponsible, because we genuinely forgot that we didn't pay the electricity bill yet. So we looked at the bank account. We was like, oh, I got all this money left over. You feel like, bitch, I'm doing a good job. 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 And then you swipe the card. And then the transaction hit, and you be like, what in the world I just had? Huh? Separate your bill money from your spending money. Okay. All right. Type separate in the comments. So I know you heard me. Separate in the comments. Type separate. So you cannot accidentally spend your rent money on takeout. Now, third thing that you can do. I would tell you to just cancel subscriptions you don't use, because that's obvious, right? Okay. It's not just that I want you to cancel subscriptions you don't use. I want you to create a system for this, okay? Because people with ADHD, we work well, we're motivated by dopamine inducement, okay? And there's nothing like a good challenge, a good game to get us to just activate. We don't care if it's spades, Uno, or racing the GPS to see if you can beat the time. We like a challenge, okay? A little dopamine hit. And so set a timer for 10 minutes, right? Go to your bank app and look for the last 3 months of transactions and write down every subscription that you see. 10 minutes. Beep, 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 beep. Let's take me back to my like Super Mario days. Is that? Yeah, I feel like that's like that was the countdown for like Peach and I feel like I could hear the music. What's that game called? I know it was on Super Nintendo. Don't make me feel old, y'all. Y'all know what game I'm talking about. Princess Peach and King Koopa and Mario. Super Mario Kart. That's what it is. Super Mario Kart. Okay, set yourself a 10-minute timer. Now, the 10-minute timer is what's important. Like, you need to cancel the subscriptions, but the 10-minute timer is what's going to get your brain to activate. Because remember, with ADHD, we struggle with dopamine issues, which means we can know what to do and we cannot will ourselves into doing it. Little hacks like this pull you out of stuck mode to get you to do it. It's kind of like Sunday night, the way you all week you couldn't think about how to start that paper, but when the deadline came to turn that paper in, suddenly you put out your best work. Any Sunday schoolers in here? If you're a Sunday schooler, you probably got ADHD. If you did all your work at Sunday right before midnight, I bet my bottom dollar. Especially if you were gifted. If you were gifted doing your homework on a Sunday night, I would bet that you got a touch of the neural divergence. Okay. I bet you spicy. Trying to look at both of these platforms. Y'all funny. Okay. Where I leave off at, friend. Y'all know I got ADHD. Don't let me squirrel. What was I talking about? 10-minute timer. Okay. Okay. The 10 minutes you're going to take to go through your bank account, to look at all of those transactions, to see, what are the subscriptions that here? You're not judging them yet. You're just noting the subscriptions, right? What are these subscriptions? That's just enough to notice, like, I completely forgot I was paying for this gym membership. Like, friends, lie to you not. When I tell you, when Geek Squad came across my account, you talk about because Geek Squad ain't cheap. And I could have swore I canceled that in the store. But apparently I did not. I got my money back now. When I saw that transaction hit, I called. But the fact is, if I wasn't checking my bank account because I had anxiety, which a lot of people with ADHD do, I would have completely missed a $200 transaction coming out of my account and just took the L. Okay. So 10 minutes will allow you to be able to see some of these transactions so that you can cancel them. All right. Number 4, Number 4 idea that is ADHD friendly. For those of you guys who struggle with impulsive shopping, right? And these days, it's a little trickier because, who's carrying cash? Who's carrying cash? But I would encourage you to challenge yourself to 30 days of cash for your day-to-day spending. And the reason is because we have emotional connection to spending. We deal with object permanence issues. So that's another issue that we deal with ADHD, meaning out of sight, out of mind. If we don't see it, it doesn't exist, which is why we could forget friends exist. Like we ain't really forget you, but we forget you. And so we don't talk to you for months, but not because we don't love you and we don't care about you, but out of sight, out of mind. Our brain literally is like, you don't exist until you're in front of us. Like the bill, right? Cash is similar. You don't feel like you're paying money when you're swiping your card. So when you use cash, you physically feel that pain of paying. You see the balance decrease in your account. Whereas with your debit card, when you swipe that card, you might know what the price is, but you don't see the number change. You don't look at your bank account and watch that thing go from $500 to $200 with that swipe. You swipe the card and then you go home and then you log in and you see it. But in real time, you don't see and feel the transaction. But when you pay with cash, and you get ready to hand over that money, right? You physically gotta part with it, and you look in your wallet immediately and you see what's left over. You start rethinking the decision. You start looking in there like, you know what? Don't supersize it, because I was on a diet. I was supposed to be eating. I said I was going to lose. This year, I said, new year, new me. So, ma'am, right? You have the opportunity to correct your decision in real time, because you can see the impact of that decision in real time, where when you swipe your plastic card, you can't see that. So you just got to live with regret when you log in your bank account and realize what you did over the weekend. And now you deal with shame, and now you're in a shame spiral. Okay. Next thing is build some ADHD friendly money system. Here is the truth. Traditional budgeting advice does not work for ADHD brains. You don't need more willpower. Okay. I got a whole conversation about willpower. I'm actually presenting to the accredited financial counselors. I'm facilitating the CEU training for financial counselors for the AFCPE on how to be a more compassionate financial counselor with neurodivergent and anxious clients. And I have got a slide on willpower and why that's not what we need, right? You need better systems that are simple and not 47 steps. Notice I said cash, right? Not a super complicated novelty, right? Not complicated, right? That are visual, because again, object permanence issues. If we don't see it, does it really there? Did it happen? If it's not on my calendar, baby, I don't care what I told you on the phone. I was coming. I meant it. But if it ain't on my calendar, I don't see it. I forgot it. That's my heart. I need a sister. I need to see it. Okay. So your system needs to have visuals. Your brain needs to see it. Your system also needs to have reminders built into it, because you will forget. Okay. For my clients, I am an ADHD coach for money, but I also have ADHD. So my clients, because I know that they struggle with memory, right? They get a text message 15 minutes before that call, an hour before that call, to remind them of the session. Why? Because they could be excited, looking forward to that session all week long. And then right before the session, they go to do a task and completely forget about it. And now they're at the grocery store, right? That allows them to be triggered to be like, oh yeah, let me pull myself back in. Now, you know who else gets that reminder? Me, because I can forget too, right? Simple system, simple reminder. Hey, you got a session in an hour, right? Instead of trying to force myself to be like a grown-up and say, I have it on my calendar and therefore that's enough. It's not enough for it to be on my calendar. I need the alert. Okay. Y'all heard in the beginning of this live when it said tweet, 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 and it sounded like a cricket. That was my reminder to go to bed because I need a reminder to sleep. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because I'll be a hyper focused. But yeah, it does force me. I don't actually have the alarm going off to make me go to sleep. I have the alarm going off to get me to start my sleep routine, which was to start disconnecting from technology, start doing my little sound bowls and making my help with sleep hygiene. Okay. But I have the alert to remind me every day, because if I don't, I definitely won't think about it. Okay. Next thing is that your system shouldn't have you rely on you being disciplined every single day. Until you have good habits, you need good systems. Until you have good habits, you need good systems. If I want to build a habit of, let's say, drinking more water, my brain is on autopilot. A habit is basically something you do on autopilot, something you don't have to think about doing. It's your routine, right? Where your brain is hardwired for what it's hardwired for right now. So if I'm used to getting up and drinking coffee every day or drinking soda every morning, that's my habit. That's my brain's default. I don't have to think about it. I'm not actively trying to go against it. So until I have the habit, until my brain's default is me drinking water, I need a system. So my system for that is I have water in the front of my refrigerator and my soda's in the back. I'm just lazy enough to grab the water because I don't feel like reaching through all this stuff to get to that's my system until I have the habit where I prefer the water. You need similar systems around your finances. So there are some things that you have bad habits around, and you need systems to protect you while you're learning your new habits. Because if you rely on you only having good habits, you are going to disappoint yourself. And that's not fair for you to do to yourself. You are setting yourself up for failure, right? Your brain is designed to autopilot. It's designed to want to do what's efficient. It doesn't care about your goals. It wants to be efficient. And it was like, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to drink soda. So until you have something to disrupt that. So for example, if you struggle with impulsivity, the system of cash, well, once you run out of money, you run out of money. So even if my autopilot is to keep swiping, I can't keep swiping if I have a system of not carrying the card with me in the first place. Is that making sense? Is that making sense? All right. Now, I'm going to give you a challenge. I'm going to give y'all 5 things that you could do to make it to help you not pay as many ADHD taxes. I'm going to give you a challenge. Here's what I want you to do this week. I want you, step 1, is to calculate your ADHD tax using the formula I gave you earlier. If you missed the formula, I will do this live again later on next month. Let me know if you want me to do it. And let me know what platform you're watching from, so I know which platform to do it on. Usually I do this on the Clock app. But today I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and the Clock app. Okay. So if you want me to do this again so that you get the formula that I gave earlier in the live, let me know that you want it. Let me know what platform you're on so I can do this live again for your platform. But if you were here earlier, I gave you guys the formula to do the tax calculation. I gave you some real conservative estimates, but I want you to figure out your actual numbers, because your numbers may be different. They may be a lot higher. They could be the same. They could be a little lower. Okay. I gave conservative numbers, so I would almost guarantee that they're probably going to be higher, but I want you to know what your number is. Okay. Because that's going to be your motivation. That's going to be your motivation. This is not you finding a number so you to judge yourself. This is you finding a number so that you could be motivated. Okay. Because once you can see how much money that you've been paying extra, right? Suddenly you're like, you know what? I do have the money for a down payment on a house. I do have that money for that vacation, Where you say you was going? St. Lucia. I got St. Lucia money right now if I put some systems in to protect me from paying extra that I'm paying the ADHD tax on, right? Okay, we got that. So that's step one. Step two is I want you to pick one thing from the list I just gave you, and I want you to do it. Automate one bill, cancel one subscription, whatever feels easiest. I want you to just do one thing. You want to give your brain a win. Your brain will protect you from danger. And if it thinks tackling your finances is scary, dangerous, that you're doomed to fail, it's not going to let you do nothing. So you got to give it a little baby win. Something that you can't lose at. Little baby win. You be like, bitch, I'm doing a good job. Bitch, I'm doing a good job. Automation might be scary right now because if you're paycheck to paycheck, it might feel like struggle. Okay. If you're paycheck to paycheck, I do another little live about the 5 financial frustrations. Maybe I'll do that one Monday or something. And I have a challenge that will help you understand what you need to do to resolve that one as well. I usually bounce between that one and the ADHD one. So if you see me live again, I might be doing that one and I can help you out with that. But automate something. Hold on. TikTok want me to prove I'm a human. Hold on. They got me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, friends. Okay. Step 2, I told you pick one thing, right? Step 3 is come back to this video and tell me I did it. This is your accountability. Why am I making you do that? Because if you have ADHD, you know what we need more than anything? Can you guess? Can you guess what we need more than anything? We need a little positive peer pressure. We need support, body doubling, if you will. Okay. So, encouragement, a little affirmation from me. I want you to come back. You can come back to any of my comments and you can just tell me, I saw your ADHD live. I did my one thing. All right. This helps close that loop of I did it. Okay. If you come back and you tell me you did it, I'm gonna give you a discount code for something in my store. Okay. I'm gonna add some extra sauce to it. Okay. Next. I really just want to celebrate you. I like to know when y'all making baby steps. Okay. Hellian. It says you got a #1 viewer badge. I appreciate you, boo. Okay. Hey. All right. Now, if you got value from this live so far today, I just need you to pay me in compliments. The easiest way to do that is to double tap the screen. If you're on TikTok, double tap the screen. It's free. It gives me hearts. Okay. That lets the algorithm know that this live is good and it shares it out with other people. Okay. I appreciate it when you come in the room, you just tap, 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 tap. I don't know if YouTube has an equivalent of that, to be honest with you. I don't know if they got a double tap option. I don't know if they let you tap, tap, tap and do anything. I don't know. But I appreciate it because that allows me to get the algorithm to know that this live is valuable and worthy of other people seeing it. Because they only going to show it to 1% of your following at first. They're going to be looking like, okay, I don't know if this is good. So we're going to test it out with 1% of the market. If it look like they like it, we'll try with like 10. If 10% like it, we might let a few more people see it. So I appreciate y'all. Okay. Now, some of you guys are like me. When you've been taught in a way that clicks, you can't help yourself. Okay, you can't help yourself. You already know. See, you're looking in my bio for a link, for a course, for a book, for something. You're looking because you're impulsive. I know it. I didn't tell you to look for nothing, okay? But I know you was looking, okay? Because I am you. Got ADHD brain, okay? We can't wait. So let me tell you what I have for you. Before actually, here's the thing. I just gave you guys 5 things that you could try on your own, right? And I want you to run with it. Okay. I'm rooting for you. But I know that some of y'all are thinking, I have tried stuff like this before and it didn't stick, right? It didn't stick. And it's for the reason that I just said earlier. People with ADHD need support. We need accountability. We thrive with a little positive momentum, right? That's why I love going to Barnes and Noble. Them people don't know they be helping me get my work done. I go there because something about other people working that make me stay on task. My brain don't squirrel quite as much, right? I need that external motivation. And for anybody who watched this live and felt like, I feel like you could see my problem. I feel like you understood me very clearly. I feel like I can make progress, but I feel like I need and I want support. I want to encourage you guys to consider joining Cohort 3. Cohort 3 starts February 23rd. There are very, very few financial coaches who specialize in ADHD, who understand our obstacles. I just Friday, went to a financial social work conference at Norfolk State University. And in a room full of financial professors, doctorates in their field, people who are in the finance industry, but had not even considered neurodivergence. And the financial education that they're giving is good for some people, but wildly inappropriate for someone who is neurodivergent. And I'm gonna give you an example of this. At a client, she is a doctor, and she reached out to me, and we were working together for about 2 months. And she told me about a couple months into it, she's, I just want to tell you, I had actually tried to reach out to a financial advisor years ago. Earlier in my profession, I was a lot younger. I didn't know anything about finances. So I reached out to a financial advisor, and she told me to take my bills off of automation. And I like physically had like a reaction, like a, whoo. She was like, yeah. She told me to take my bills off of automation because I needed to feel paying it. Right. And my finances went to hell. And I just felt, she was like, I already felt really anxious in the first place talking to, I don't know all the jargon. I don't know how to say the things the way they say them. It was already intimidating. And, I feel like I'm supposed to be further along because I'm a doctor. And, but then to have my finances take a tumble like that, not that they were great to begin with, but just worse off than before, she just felt really discouraged. And she was like, just sitting in coaching with you and hearing you talk through the methodologies and starting to see this in my life, she was like, man, I could see now that was so crazy of a suggestion for me with ADHD. And I had no idea that she had an advisor. She didn't tell me this until we were working months later. I just gave her the suggestion and she'd be using it. And I was like, yeah, I would never. There's nothing wrong with her thought process of taking you off of automation so you could feel the money. There's nothing wrong with that logic for a neurotypical person, because just like I said with cash, you could feel the pain of paying. She wanted her to feel the transaction so that she would be reminded that she had this money, and then maybe not impulsively spend. But she didn't balance that with the risk of her memory, that she would forget to pay bills entirely. And so for an ADHD client, I would never suggest them de-automate, if that's a word, right? I would encourage a neurotypical person to automate, but I definitely wouldn't tell a neurodivergent person to not automate their bills because they struggle with working memory. It is one of the biggest obstacles we deal with is poor working memory. Not poor memory in general, because we remember things that affect us emotionally, right? We could remember the socks, the lint on the side of your foot, right? If you hurt our feelings or you broke our heart when it happened, we're going to remember that level of detail, right? But remembering where we put our keys or our debit card or what our username, password is, what email address, what your name is, right? I would never suggest that to an ADHD person. And so it's so important that you get the appropriate support for your financial situation. And I'm not the best financial coach for everybody either. There are plenty of times where a client comes to me and they want to work with me. I resonate with them. They like me as a person. But just based off of the situation that they're experiencing, I feel like a different coach would be a better fit for them because of their specialty. I know what they specialize in. I know what your problem is. And it's better for you to work with somebody who works in that. And I will joyfully refer you to somebody who I think is a better fit, because it's not important to me that you be my client and get the help. It's important to me that you get the help that you need. And so if you have ADHD and you feel like you felt seen in this conversation, I would love to work with you. I would love to chat with you. I would love for you to join our next cohort. It is an 8-week class. It is Monday and Wednesday night from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Look at me, forgetting the time. I always say block off 8 to 9 because also we struggle with time blindness. So sometimes we go over. Y'all got questions, I'll let y'all answer. And it's 8 weeks long. I give you guys the full curriculum. I give my one-on-one clients. Now I'm gonna give y'all some context, okay? My one-on-one coaching clients, they paid me $394 a month for 9 months minimum commitment. My group coaching clients for this last cohort, this is my birthday cohort, it is $197 full stop, not per month, full stop. And you can do payment plans, okay? This is the last cohort where it's deeply priced because for this first year, I wanted to give you guys a beta prices, but you guys get the same digital, not physical copy of this client guide that I go through with my one-on-one clients. This thing is rich, okay? During our 8 weeks together, we go through the first half of it together, okay? We go through the first half of this guide together, but you get the entire digital copy of the guide to continue to work through. And you get to stay in my Facebook community, my private Facebook group, not the public one, the private one that are just for the baddies and just for the Finn sisters for a whole year. So that while you're still working on your financial goals, you still have support. Because what did I tell you y'all need more than anything? If you got ADHD, you need support. So I'm not about to have you read this book and do it yourself. That don't work for us, okay? We don't lack knowledge. We're smart women. We're brilliant, okay? That's why we're so confused about why we're not getting this right, because we are smart, right? We need something different. So if you join the cohort, you not only get the client guide, but you have 8 weeks of support. You develop relationships with other women who are experiencing your situation. And I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. My one-on-one clients get to take the group cohort complimentary. And I initially thought that offering them the opportunity to take one-on-one, to do the group, they wouldn't be interested because they're already learning all, they're getting more deep support because I'm looking at their actual numbers in one-on-one setting. I didn't think that they would want to do group, but they were like, most of them were like, yeah, I want to try and do group. They get to take one cohort complimentary. And all of them were like, man, I am so glad that I did the group, right? Because hearing other women sharing their story and realizing that I'm not the only one, it gives your brain a sense of safety that allows you to move forward. Because for so long, we don't take action because we feel like, I'm stupid, I'm lazy, I'm something. All the things, all the inner drama your voice is telling you about yourself and your situation, or you should be better than this. You too smart. You got 2 degrees and da 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 da. You do this for a living and you should know better. How old are you? Blah blah blah. Whatever people on Instagram will probably judge you for. That's how you treat yourself in your inner brain, right? Once you start hearing other women who have experienced or responded the same way, it like frees you up from shame. And shame is one of the biggest inhibitors to progress, is feeling ashamed about your situation. So if you're interested, the next cohort starts February 23rd. I encourage you to enroll in the cohort now before it fills up. The link is in my bio. It is deeply discounted at $197, and you can do payment plans. Okay. Once we fill up and we close it, then you have to wait to Q2. I won't have another cohort that comes back around until June or July. So unless you want to wait that long to start making shifts in your finances, then click the link in my bio now. The course is called Love Yourself Back to Wealth. It is exactly what it's about. Okay. All right. Money is about more than numbers. Money is about more than numbers. Okay. If this has been helpful to you guys, type yes in the comments if this has been helpful. If you have not already followed me or subscribed to me, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you guys joining me tonight. It is more fun when y'all are here. So I appreciate y'all showing up. I appreciate the double taps. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the comments. I saw them in both places. I really, really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me. It might be content. I might answer your question. Okay. I might make a whole live just around your scenario. So don't be shy. Let me know. Let me see. Let me look over here. Make sure I ain't missed no questions on this side. Doo-doo. Hey, Tasha Mac. Hey, sis. Oh, I see. We got Ada over here. I love that for me. I love that. I love my sisterhood. I love mine. I love it. I love it. I love that. Okay. Well, friends, my alarm told me to go to bed a long time ago, and I didn't listen. But I am going to start preparing myself to wind down now and go to sleep. And I hope to see y'all on Monday, on Money Mondays. And yeah, that's it. That's all. Bye, guys.